Peptides are powerful and often misunderstood.
But we're here to change that.
I'm Dr. Kylie Burton.
And I'm Jessica Bricky.
This is Pep Talk, Peptides Unpacked, Science Made Simple, Results Made Real. Pay close attention to these statistics. Over 40% of sexual dysfunction cases are linked to circulation and vascular health, not hormones. Nearly 1 in 2 women report sexual dysfunction at some point, and most are told it's, quote, hormones, even when blood flow and stress are the real drivers. Sexual dysfunction is often the first sign of vascular dysfunction. Jess, what is vascular dysfunction? And break those statistics up for us.
Yeah, so vascular dysfunction is really more about circulation, our blood flow throughout the body. And the biggest concern when we have any kind of vascular dysfunction is what's happening with our heart, right? Like what is that poor circulation indicating? Our metabolic problems, cardiac problems, that's a big thing. So when we start having blood flow struggles, we're going to see that start to show up in other places potentially before we even show it heart signs. So one of those places might be in our sexual response. So if you are seeing in men, if you are showing signs of ED, so erectile dysfunction, whether it's maybe an erection is not as strong as it once was, maybe it's not happening at all, or even your ability to carry on intimacy, um, you know, reach. I'm watching Bridgerton, and they're talking about the pinnacle. So I'm just going to refer to that because it's kind of funny. So if men and women are having trouble reaching the pinnacle because of blood flow issues, that could be a sign that there is some circulation issues. And so it might show up there before they see something more serious, like what's going to happen with heart metabolic dysfunction in general. So basically, vascular dysfunction is a problem with our blood flow throughout the body.
Yeah. Yeah, we immediately think ED, but women, when we report sexual dysfunction, we're often told, well, it's your hormones. And
Hmm.
half the time, it actually isn't, says the statistic, even when blood flow and stress are the real drivers, if you remember that statistic. So, we're going to talk today about a specific, is it a peptide?
Yeah, it has peptides in it, so it's not
Okay,
just peptide. Yeah, it does have a little bit of PT141 in it, which is a peptide. So, but it's not just peptides.
we're going to talk about what we can, this product, this nasal spray, it's brand new, stinking new. Like if you're listening to this on February 4th is when it becomes available. And so it's brand stinking new. Okay. You might immediately think, well, it's only for ED. It's not. This is for women who have sexual dysfunction too, especially when they're told it's hormones and you're like, I went and gotten my hormones checked and nothing's changed, or I'm on hormone therapy and nothing's changing. Well, maybe that's actually not the root cause, and the root cause is blood flow and the lovely 5 letter word stress. Is it
Yeah.
5 letters? One, two, three, four, six. It's 6 letters. It's 6 letters.
Stress, right? Six.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, Jess, tell us about this elate.
Yeah, so let's first really kind of talk for a second about testosterone because you brought up hormones. And I think that the very first thing that people go to, especially for men, is not having enough testosterone, which can definitely be part of the picture here. But women too, believe it or not, testosterone levels matter in you as well. I'm personally taking a topical testosterone. I've been doing it for some time. It's slow to rise when you're doing it the way that I am, absorbing it through the skin. That is not always going to be the answer for having a good response in the bedroom. Is just your testosterone. It can be part of the picture, but we're talking today about something completely different, and that is the blood flow. So we have a product that the company that we refer everybody to for telemedicine has come out with that is pretty instant. So we did an episode already where we talk about PT141. If you haven't listened to that, go back and listen that episode because that is about that particular peptide that can be done as an injection. This is available both as a lozenge, but now as a nasal spray. And it does contain a little bit of the PT141, but it also has tadalafil. I always tangle that one, Tadalafil, tadalafil, and oxytocin, which
Whatever
is kind
scientific science guy named that needs to be fired. He needs to get a new name.
of. And the more that look at certain words too, I don't know about you, the more I look at certain words to say it, the more I then twist them up. I'm like, oh, I've got that. That's not a big deal. I've got that word, can say it all day long. And the minute I need to say it in an important spot like this, I'm like, oh man, tongue twister.
Tadalafil?
Tadalafil. That's
Tadalafil.
what it is. Yep.
Say it with me 5 times. Tadalafil, 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 tadalafil. And by the time you're on the fourth, the fifth, you're still screwing it
You've
up. So
got it. You've nailed it.
we give you grace.
So a lot of people want to have intimacy, like we talked about in that other episode, and maybe they have that want to drive that PT141 is going to help them with. Maybe they don't have that want to, but if they do have that want to, but they're not physically performing, this is where this particular peptide is going to come into play here. So their body's not responding, the desire's not there, is there, but the consistent response isn't. So we want to increase that blood flow. And sometimes this particular product is going to help increase the blood flow pretty instantly. So the PT141 is something you take hours ahead. This nasal spray and or lozenge, you're going to take it 30 to 60 minutes before the actual event. So yes, it does mean that there's some planning involved, which some people are a little sad that maybe you have to plan for it. However, you do have to plan for it. As we get busy in lives, we get busy with our kids, we get busy with our jobs, we get busy in life, and sometimes we forget to nurture that relationship we have with our partner. So sometimes we do kind of have to carve out time and like today's our day or tonight's our night, whatever it is. Once you've talked to your spouse, which I highly encourage, that this is not something you do without talking to your spouse and having a good open relationship about it. We don't want to make any assumptions here, like we're ready to go tonight. And then you end up with hurt feelings and so on and so forth because the other person wasn't on board or in the same place. But you will take this little nasal spray, and it's going to get things going for you. It's going to get the blood flowing. So this is different because in order for sexual happiness or wellness to be, you need two things. You need to have good brain signaling, which is where the PT141 comes in, but you also need your body to respond, which is where these other components of this spray are going to come in. So this is not about desire. This is about response, this particular product. Two different
Okay.
things. PT141 is more going to be motivation, desire, arousal. This is going to be
Libido.
more
It's going to improve revive your libido.
right.
Whereas the nasal
This is
spray
this is about
with the
performance.
tadalafil is performance,
Right, exactly.
climax.
So we have a new product, like I've mentioned, you've mentioned, it's a spray. It's not an injection. It's fast acting, it's non-hormonal, and it is designed to support the circulation. It's also going to help with confidence because I think too, when probably maybe more for men than it is for women, when you start getting now, there's a brain signaling that's involved, but when you start worrying about whether or not you can physically perform, that can change things too. But you are taking something that's going to help the blood flow part of the issue. Your confidence soars. You're going to be a little bit better, more confident lover than you may have been previously without having the support. So the three main components in this, like we were just talking about, to tadalafil.
Tadalafil.
Jeepers, we did that 5 times too. Tadalafil, supporting blood flow. It helps the blood vessels stay relaxed. It improves sensitivity and responsiveness, and it's going to work with the body's natural signaling. So it's not adding nitric oxide into the body. Some people talk about using that as increasing your blood flow pre-exercise and improving performance and sexual performance. This is not a nitric oxide um, ingredient here. Then we have oxytocin, and this is sometimes referred to as like the love hormone, the connection hormone. It's
Hmm.
something like when you embrace somebody and you give a hug, oxytocin is released in the body. So this is like the connection piece signaler. So it supports bonding, trust, relaxation. It helps intimacy feel a little bit easier and safer. And when stress is high, having something like this that's going to kind of calm you down a little bit, feel safer, feel more relaxed, that's going to also put you in the moment and be able to perform better too. Stress is a big deal when it comes to how we do so many things in our life, but something that's supposed to be feel so good and be so relaxing, when you're under stress, your brain isn't in that place, your body's not in that place. Stress is a killer
Yeah, let
of
me
many
give
things.
one helpful tip I think here, because I work with a relationship coach, my husband and I do, and well, I just had this thought like we need to get Monica on this podcast
Yeah.
during this specific month. So I'll reach out to her and get her locked in. She's on a million podcasts all the time, so she'll be grateful for it. Um, but she's been great helping us navigate this trial, as like this difficult year chapter in our lives. And one of the things that she helped me with was to understand that we go through transitions throughout the day. As a mom, especially with you're running your mom with little kids, I'm a business owner during the day, and then I have to transition back to mom. So when you wake up in the morning, think about these transitions, however your transitions occur. So the morning for me, it's transition into motherhood. I wake up, it's mom. Then I go out to the office, or now in this case, I kind of balance motherhood and business at the same time, but it's okay. So go from mom to business, back to mom when the kids get out of school. And then once the kids are asleep, I then get to transition into wife. And I think a lot of us forget that final transition. So when you were in wife
You're
mode,
tired.
yeah, we're tired. Last night was one of those reasons where I'm just like, just let me lay here in bed, please. Like, I'm not taking anything off because I know if I do, your hands are going to start going places, and then we're going to stay up for the next hour, and I just need sleep right now. True story.
Yep, I
And,
get
and
it.
then you like, it's that final transition that we often forget about. And then our husbands always feel like, oh, they're the last piece on the totem pole, or we get the last straw for us. So if we can get to that, whatever your transitions look like throughout the day, then for me, once the kids get to go to bed and they're asleep, I then get to transition into wife. And it's helped me to where like I'm not gonna just go trying to put the kids to bed and then go to my phone, or when he's always watching hunting on YouTube at night, like when I get down from putting the kids to sleep, he's on hunting. I'm like that I can't transition to wife when we're doing other things. So maybe that will help as we talk about not just the science of it, but some helpful solutions, and then a way to transition your mind and the stresses throughout the day. If you can shift into these moments of your day at making sure you include wife in that shift.
Yeah. I think obviously we're coming at this from a female's perspective, and there's a lot of women that don't understand that, and they're probably not putting a lot of they're not thinking of it in those terms. And then, from the men's side, they operate differently than we do.
Yes.
So
Very
they are much
drastically.
we're much more in our head about how the day goes and the stress and how that impacts us. And men are just simply much more physical in general. So they could have a stressful day, but they're ready to go regardless. It's just different. And it is sometimes hard to get those things to match when we're different, like you say, different stages of the day, or how we just biologically move through life. But when it comes to these products, so we talked about the PT141, that can help with that kind of motivation, like liking that partner. Not, you can't listen, a bad relationship is a bad relationship. So we're not fixing when there's like relationship issues, but when we're talking about the response to wanting to like your partner or be interested in sex, be motivated for sex, or the physical response, that's what we're really talking about here. So the
Yeah.
PT141, you take that in the afternoon, and then maybe when you're transitioning into that evening wife mode, that might help you if you're struggling. This particular case is going to really help with the blood flow into the genital region for both men and women. And I can't stress that enough because women can have that stress factor slow down our blood flow there too. So therefore, we might not be as lubricated as we want to be, and we may not have, as I going back to Bridgerton, the pinnacle that we want to have because the blood flow's not there and we're not going to respond the way that we want to. So this
And when we
helps with,
don't, it feels more like a job.
it does feel like a
And
job.
and it's like not motivating because he gets to have that experience and we don't.
Correct.
So this will really help it so it's on equal terms. You're even more motivated because you know you get to hit the pinnacle too.
Right. So for men and for women, this is really showing up, right? Okay. So blood flow is required for arousal. Stress restricts that blood flow. So stress is a big thing. And this elate that we're talking about helps the circulation be more effective, but not in an aggressive manner. I think when we talk about the little blue pill, that is like that needs attention right away, whether it's a man or a woman taking it. Like it feels, holy cow, we gotta quench this fire right away. And it's going to be there for a while if we don't, right? So this is a little bit softer of an approach. How it's used, as I mentioned, you do use the nasal spray or the lozenge 30 to 60 minutes prior to, but you can use this as needed versus the PT-141 is not, that's a couple times a week. You're not using it daily. This is something that you could use more than one time per day, per week, whatever it is. So you're not restricted in that way. Um, it's really
So
good, I
the
think, for
PT-141 is more for the drive, the motivation, the desire.
hmm
It's libido in general,
hmm
men and women. And you take it on a couple times a day, or sorry, a couple times a week. Let me correct that. A
Yep,
couple times a week.
yep,
Whereas the lozenge and the spray that we're talking about, Elate, we have the thrill pill and then Elate. They are for like right before the pinnacle you want to
yeah,
have happen.
yeah, exactly.
Okay. Got it.
Um, All right. So who fits this? Who is going to benefit most from this? So people that have desire but poor response, men and women, people that have a very stress heavy life, perimenopausal or menopausal women, um, and those that want some sort of support but isn't an injectable support. So even though the PT-141 is in this, you can get that just straight by itself in the injection. This is going to give you still a little bit of that um, in this nasal spray. So it's going to support, like I said, it's going to support response, but that PT-1 is going to really support desire. Um, so sexual wellness in general isn't necessarily about trying harder. I think we put a lot on ourselves about feeling guilty, or a lot of conflict can come into a relationship when things aren't going well. We talked about this a little bit in the when on the other episode. I think when you're not matching the vibe of your partner, that creates another level of stress and puts more wedges in your relationship. I know we're gonna do an interview, a podcast interview with a couple who's been using this, and I can't wait to do that. That one's gonna come out soon. But I think that if you can use these tools to help you and your partner get on the same page, that's a win for everybody. It doesn't feel like a job, like you just said, like a check mark. Okay, I was a wife tonight. Good. Phew, I'm good for a day or two before I have to be a wife again, or whatever the scheduling is
Heck,
in the
12
house.
hours sometimes for
But
me.
just to create a partnership again.
Yes, I love it.
Well, that's that heavy
Oh,
testosterone your husband is sporting over there, right?
oh my gosh. He, so going back to the whole transitions thing, he's like, why don't you ever want to do it in the middle of the day? I'm like, because I'm in a business transition or I'm in a mom transition. I'm not in wife transition, okay? And he's very healthy, very fit, and very, very hormonally balanced.
Good for him,
And
and
I'm
good
pretty
good
good
for him.
myself, but it's like Honey, it was literally 12 hours ago. Like, are you okay? You'll be okay, I promise. Hope he doesn't mind sharing with me all these like sharing all these things on here. But that's the fun of podcasting is you really get to know who your hosts are because we
Yeah.
just start blabbing about our lives. And then like, oh my, like yeah, I'll shut up now.
There's no question.
Okay.
My husband will probably hear this and be like, "Oh, you're talking about this. That's good for me." Practice what you preach, girl.
Yes. We're also like what makes it fun too is we're like at two different stages of life. We're like I
Yeah.
got the little kids and you got the kids that are in college and growing up and you've been married for 30 years. I've been married for 10.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, we're going strong, we're going healthy,
We're
and
covering it all here.
yeah, giving all the realities of life because that's what it is. It's reality of life.
I think I want to mention really too, we mentioned this in the other episode that we did. This is being recorded. Today is February 3rd. Tomorrow is when Elate launches. And those of you that are interested, you're going to find Kylie and I will tell you how to find us. But if you get in and you're the first 5,000 people that get in there to place your order for this particular product, you are going to get a reward of the TikTok viral personal massager Rosebud, which if you don't know what that is, I highly suggest you go Google or go down the TikTok rabbit hole and check it out because I promise you once you do, you're going to want to be one of those 5,000 people.
There's a reason why it's gone viral.
That's right.
Okay, so just reiterate, if it's February 4th and you're listening to this and you have anything, any like, oh, I should do this, go do it. On the 4th or maybe the 5th, if it survives to the 5th, there are the first 5,000 orders for the Elate nasal spray that helps with the climax, correct? As we've been discussing.
Arousal and response. And
Okay.
it's a little bit of everything. So it's going to be blood flow in general. So it's going to help support those that are that are dealing with ED issues, whether it is getting the party started or how you respond, like how long can you stay in that moment. So that will help people that have ED moments and women that are needing support maybe around lubrication or their response during sex itself and how they're going to respond. So blood flow is going to greatly impact how we perform and how we reach the pinnacle because that's become our word today.
Yes. Okay, so go grab it. Elate. We're going to have the links in the show notes for both Jess and I's secret links. Go to the show notes there and be the first 5,000. And you'll receive a gift with that is the TikTok viral massage that's a red rose.
Correct.
As part of our Valentine's Day special. Okay. All right, guys, that's a wrap. As we close this episode, we do want to please I'm not, I don't beg. We want to share some love to this podcast this month. If you can go on to wherever you're listening and create a review and then hit subscribe, we have some changes coming up that you're going to love, including some consistent podcast episodes rather than just dropping them. Because when we first started recording, we were just like, hey, we're going to create these, 15, 20 episodes, drop them and be done. But we can't do that, as you've been able to see. We just keep talking and we keep creating more episodes and we keep getting great feedback from it. So if you can leave a review, subscribe, and then even a third bonus, if you could share that on your social media page, we would be very, very grateful for it because we understand what peptides are. Not very few people actually do still. You would be surprised at how many people don't understand what a peptide is. They don't even know that GLP-1 is a peptide. They just know that it is associated with weight loss and it is way more than weight loss. So before I lose my breath here, go review, subscribe, share. Give this podcast some love, and we might announce that there is a free gift coming up on future episodes if you do that. So just get ahead of the game, and you can get your free gift as we announce it in the next few episodes. But for sure, go right now, order your Elate, and you can thank us later. Is that it, Jess?
I think that's it. They just need to know how to order that. So if you want to do that through me, you're going to follow me on Instagram. You can find all the links in my link tree there on Instagram. So Instagram, I'm Jess B _LMT _NC. You can also get that on my website, which is B2B, the number two, b2bwithjess.com/peptides.
Yep. Anybody else, go to drkylieburton.com/peptides and you can get started there. See you on the next episode.
See ya.